Imagine looking in the mirror one morning and feeling like you've aged overnight. Wrinkles seem deeper, your skin appears dull, and your energy feels drained. But what if I told you that many of these signs of premature aging aren't just natural but are actually caused by bad habits, habits that you may not even realize are speeding up the clock on your appearance? Sleep is not just a necessity, it is a divine gift, a time when the body heals, the mind resets, and the soul finds rest. Yet, in the rush of life, so many neglect this precious blessing, pushing their bodies beyond their limits, believing that success is found in endless striving rather than in balance. But the truth remains, when you rob yourself of rest, you rob yourself of renewal. The body is not a machine, it is a sacred vessel, fearfully and wonderfully made, requiring care and restoration. Sleep deprivation does not just bring fatigue, it steals away the glow of youth, the sharpness of thought, and the strength of spirit. It etches deep lines on the face, weakens the immune system, and clouds the mind with anxiety and stress. Some may say, "I'll sleep when I'm dead," as if sleep were an obstacle rather than a necessity. But to ignore rest is to invite weariness, and weariness leads to premature aging, not just of the skin but of the soul. The face becomes weary, the eyes lose their light, and even the heart bears the burden of exhaustion. Darkness under the eyes, sagging skin, and premature wrinkles are all signs that the body is crying out for restoration. And yet, so many push through, drinking endless cups of coffee, relying on stimulants, forcing themselves through another day without recognizing that they are fighting against the very design of their being. But there is hope, and there is healing. When you choose to honor the body's need for rest, you unlock the true power of rejuvenation. The skin renews itself in the quiet hours of sleep, cells repair, and energy is restored. The mind becomes clear, the spirit is lifted, and the face reflects the peace that only comes from true rest. The solution is not difficult, yet it requires a shift in priority. Turn off the screens, quiet the noise, and embrace the sacred rhythm of rest. Let sleep be a time of renewal, not an afterthought. Invest in the simple things that promote good rest, a peaceful environment, a comfortable bed, and the discipline to make sleep a priority. In doing so, the years will not be stolen from you, but rather, your youthfulness will be preserved, and your strength will be renewed. And as important as rest is, so too is the living water that sustains the body. It is said that the body is made up of water, and yet so many deprive themselves of this life-giving element, choosing instead to quench their thirst with that which does not satisfy. The skin, the largest organ of the body, cries out for hydration, but when it is ignored, it begins to wither. Dryness sets in, fine lines deepen, and what was once vibrant begins to look tired and aged. This is not merely the passing of time, this is the result of neglect. Water is not just a necessity, it is the key to vitality. Every cell depends on it, every organ requires it, and without it, life itself begins to fade. Many go through their days dehydrated without even realizing it, suffering from headaches, fatigue, and dullness of skin, blaming age when the real culprit is a lack of hydration. Some drink everything but water, sodas, excessive coffee, sugary drinks, all while the body cries out for pure, life-giving hydration. There is a way forward, a way to restore what has been lost. Begin to treat water as the essential gift that it is. Let it be the first thing you reach for in the morning and the last thing you drink before you sleep. Do not wait until you feel thirsty, for by then, dehydration has already begun. Make it a habit, a way of life, and you will see the transformation. The skin will begin to glow again, the body will feel lighter, and the energy that seemed lost will return. Hydration is not just about beauty, it is about health, clarity, and longevity. Those who nourish their bodies with sleep and hydration will find themselves renewed, their strength restored, and their appearance reflecting the vitality that comes from honoring the body's deepest needs. The choice is before you. To continue in habits that drain life or to embrace the path that leads to renewal and restoration. Choose well, and you will see the reward. There is an old saying, "You are what you eat," and never has a statement held more truth. The body is a temple, designed with care, meant to be nourished with what is good, pure, and life-giving. But in a world filled with convenience, so many have fallen into habits that destroy rather than restore. The foods that were once rare indulgences have become everyday staples, sugary treats, processed meals, and artificial ingredients that weaken rather than strengthen. The body was not made to run on chemicals and excess sugar. It was designed to be fueled by the goodness of nature, by the wholesome foods that have sustained life for generations. What many do not realize is that every bite taken is either adding to life or taking from it. The skin, the heart, the mind, all are affected by the choices made at the table. When processed foods are consumed in excess, the body begins to break down, inflammation takes hold, and aging accelerates. Wrinkles appear sooner, energy diminishes, and what was once strong becomes weak. The glow of youth is not stolen by time alone but by poor choices that build up over days, months, and years. Sugar, especially, is a silent thief, robbing the skin of its elasticity, creating lines where none should be, and dulling the natural radiance that comes from true nourishment. But there is a better way. Returning to what is natural, choosing foods that give life rather than drain it, makes all the difference. Antioxidant-rich fruits, vegetables bursting with vitamins, healthy fats that keep the skin supple, these are the keys to longevity and vitality. A meal should not just be about satisfying hunger but about fueling the body with what it needs to thrive. Berries rich in antioxidants protect against aging, nuts and seeds provide essential nutrients, and leafy greens flood the body with what it craves. Healthy fats from sources like salmon and avocados do more than satisfy, they nourish at the deepest levels, keeping the skin firm, the brain sharp, and the body strong. The path is clear. Turn away from the habits that bring harm and embrace the foods that bring life. The effects will not just be felt but seen. Energy will return, the skin will regain its glow, and the years that seem to have taken their toll will begin to fade. The body responds to care, to wisdom, to the choices that align with its design. There is power in what is placed on the plate. Choose well, and the rewards will be abundant. There is another enemy of youthfulness, one that is often ignored until the damage has already been done. Day after day, the skin is exposed to a silent attacker, one that does not wound immediately but works over time, weakening the skin, deepening wrinkles, and leaving behind marks that cannot be easily erased. The sun, though it gives light and warmth, also carries rays that penetrate deep, breaking down collagen, causing spots to form, and aging the skin long before its time. Many walk outside without a second thought, believing that because they do not see the effects today, there is no danger. But every moment spent unprotected under the sun is a moment where the damage begins. Ultraviolet rays do not ask permission, they do not show mercy. They find the unguarded places and leave their mark. Those who neglect to protect themselves may not see the signs at first, but time will reveal what was hidden. Deep lines, rough texture, discoloration, these are not just signs of age but of exposure, of neglect, of failing to guard what has been given. But there is a shield, a way to stand against this unseen force. Sunscreen is not just a beauty product, it is armor. A layer of protection that stands between the skin and the harshness of the sun's rays. It is not enough to use it occasionally, only on days when the heat feels strong. The sun does not rest, nor should the guard against it. Even on cloudy days, even in the colder months, its rays reach through, continuing their work. Broad-spectrum protection, SPF that shields against both UVA and UVB rays, these are the defenses that preserve what time alone cannot. It is not weakness to take precautions, it is wisdom. It is not vanity to care for the skin, it is stewardship. The same care given to the body through nourishment must be given through protection. Hats, sunglasses, shade when the sun is at its peak. These are not burdens, but gifts, ways to preserve what was given. The face, the hands, the places most often exposed should never be left vulnerable. The marks left by neglect cannot always be undone, but those who choose today to make a change will find that it is never too late to do what is right. The youthfulness that seemed lost can be preserved, the damage that seemed inevitable can be slowed, and the beauty that comes from wisdom will shine brighter than anything the sun could take away. Those who care for their bodies, who make choices with intention, will not only feel the difference but will see it in the years to come. The body repays the kindness it is given. Let that kindness be shown, in what is eaten, in how it is protected, in the daily choices that shape the future. There is a weight that many carry, a burden that does not sit on their shoulders but instead settles deep within, shaping their expressions, clouding their thoughts, and carving lines into their faces. Stress is a silent thief, an invisible hand that reaches into life and steals away joy, peace, and even youth. It does not announce itself loudly but creeps in, taking root in the heart and mind until it manifests outwardly. The tension in the brows, the tiredness in the eyes, the deepening of lines that should not yet be there. These are not simply signs of aging, they are signs of a life weighed down by burdens that were never meant to be carried alone. Some believe that stress is just a part of life, something to be managed rather than eliminated, but that is not the way it was intended to be. A restless mind, a heart filled with worry, and a soul constantly in turmoil do more than drain energy. They accelerate aging, making a person look and feel older than they truly are. Studies have shown that stress releases chemicals in the body that break down collagen, increase inflammation, and weaken the immune system. The effects are visible, not just in the mind but on the skin, in the hair, in the way a person carries themselves. The body was never designed to live in a state of constant tension. Yet, there is hope. There is a way to step out of the cycle of stress and step into a life of peace. It begins with a choice to release what cannot be controlled, to trust that life was never meant to be lived in a constant state of anxiety. There is power in stillness, in stepping away from the noise, in finding moments to breathe and to be present. Physical exercise, deep breathing, prayer, and gratitude, these are not just practices, they are lifelines. They renew the mind, refresh the soul, and restore the body. When stress is managed, the face reflects peace rather than worry, the body moves with lightness rather than burden, and the years that seem to rush forward slow their pace. Laughter is another gift, a medicine for the soul and the body. It has been said that a joyful heart is good medicine, and that truth has been proven time and again. Those who laugh often, who find joy in the little things, who choose gratitude over complaint, carry a different kind of presence. Their faces are not weighed down by worry but lifted by lightness, by the beauty of a heart that knows how to rejoice. Stress cannot live where joy abides, and where there is joy, there is life, there is energy, there is youthfulness that cannot be stolen by time. Another force that shapes the face, the body, and even the spirit is movement. The body was never meant to be still, to sit idly, to waste away in inactivity. From the beginning, movement has been a part of life, a way to build strength, to cultivate energy, to ensure that the body remains a vessel of vitality rather than of decline. Yet, in today's world, movement has become an afterthought. So many spend their days seated, their muscles growing weaker, their posture slumping, their energy fading. The effects of a sedentary life are not just internal, they are visible. The skin loses its glow, the body loses its strength, and the very essence of youthfulness slips away. Movement is not just about exercise, it is about honoring the body, using it as it was designed to be used. It does not require an intense regimen, just a commitment to keep moving. Walking, stretching, engaging in activities that bring joy, these simple habits restore what inactivity has stolen. Movement increases circulation, bringing oxygen to the skin, flushing out toxins, keeping the muscles strong and the bones sturdy. It sharpens the mind, lifts the spirit, and brings back the vibrancy that so many believe is lost to age. The beauty of movement is that it is never too late to begin. A single step leads to another, and with each movement, the body responds in gratitude. It strengthens, it heals, it regains the vitality that inactivity tried to take away. Those who move daily do not just live longer, they live better. Their faces carry the brightness of health, their posture reflects confidence, their steps are filled with energy. The body was made to move, and when it does, it thrives. The power of stress relief and movement cannot be overstated. They are not just habits, they are essential parts of a life well lived. A peaceful mind and an active body work together to create not just a youthful appearance but a life filled with strength, joy, and purpose. The choice is given to every person, to be weighed down by stress or to walk in peace, to be bound by inactivity or to embrace movement. Those who choose wisely will not only see the difference but will feel it in every part of their being.